Hi guys and welcome back. Let's do the recap of lesson 17 together. Now this is a great lesson. It has lots of new vocabulary and a very useful grammar point. So today I'm going to anticipate certain common mistakes and certain difficulties, especially with regards to vocabulary. I won't spend that much time on grammar. We'll do maybe 10 examples together just to revise. But I think the grammar video that you have is very detailed, so watch that. And together, let's just put some of that knowledge into practice. So let's focus mainly on the vocabulary and pronunciation. So today you saw lots of new words, and some of these are confusing. Notably, the words trip, journey, and travel. So to simplify, what we're talking about is when someone goes on holiday, you say, how was your trip? The trip is the whole experience. It's going there, it's being there, it's coming back. So that is a trip. That's how you use the word trip. How was your business trip? How was your trip to Thailand? That is how you use the word trip. The word journey, now here be careful with the pronunciation. It's once again that sound j that we've seen before. We saw it in lesson 16 together. Do you remember? It was in the word enjoy. J, enjoy. Just like job, judge, engineer. Okay, so this word here, journey, is more A to B. How was the journey? Oh, it was exhausting. It was long. Okay, so that's what you use the word journey for. How was your journey? Oh, it was perfect. It went well. It was short. It wasn't stressful. That's how you use it. Okay, so don't confuse the word trip and journey. And finally, the word travel. Now, this is where people get confused even more. I would just say use the word travel as a verb. I travel a lot for work. I travel. Don't use it so much as a noun. A travel? No, we don't really use that. How are your travels going? It's very old-fashioned. So forget about that. Just use a trip and a journey and use the verb to travel. Okay? Talking about travel and transport, you also have here short sentences. The difficulty here lies mainly with the preposition. So when you say, how do you go to work? Well, I go to work by bus. I go to work on the bus. So here you have the choice between different prepositions. I go in my car. I go on the bus. I travel by car. I travel by bus. I travel by metro. So there, be careful. You can use both, but get some practice. Try and make your own sentences. Write them down. And next time you go to class or next time you have a Skype class, do run through those sentences with your teacher, who will then be able to tell you if you have used the right preposition, the right verb, if you're using all this new vocabulary and grammar correctly. In this dialogue, you also have vocabulary related to fitness and weight. So just for pronunciation, repeat after me. Overweight, exercise. So exercise, exercises. You can exercise, so to exercise is a verb, but you can also use it as a noun. I do exercise. I don't do much exercise. I do a lot of exercise. And here, in the context of language learning, you can use it in the plural form. I have lots of grammar exercises to complete before next class. What I'd like to point out here is overweight. Weight, that second part of the word, weight, is pronounced the same way as the verb to wait. Wait, wait, okay? I'm telling you this because when you see the word overweight, wow, that spelling is complicated. So just remember, it's maybe difficult to spell, but to pronounce is as easy as the verb to wait. Overweight, wait. This lesson also contains the verb love. I love eating. I love to eat. Now, I'm highlighting this verb because Many of my students, and this is despite them having a high level or a low level, it doesn't matter. It's a mistake that I see a lot in class. So I would like to just run through this rule together so that you are aware of this mistake and you avoid it. You cannot say I love eat. You cannot use an infinitive without to. It isn't correct. You can use the ing form, I like or I love eating, or the infinitive with to, the complete infinitive. I love to eat, I like to eat. Do be careful today with the modal verb must. Now I know that many of my students who aren't total beginners have most probably seen this grammar point before. Can, must, will, all those verbs, they're called modal verbs. Now they're quite peculiar, they're quite different to our standard verb because they come from German grammar, and that's why they are very different. So I told you just 2 minutes ago, I like to eat, I want to eat, but must and can, those are the two modals that you've seen so far in this course, cannot be followed by to. So it just contradicts the previous rule. But that's because modals or modal verbs are different. You can say, I can speak Spanish. I can speak Spanish, not I can to speak Spanish. That is not okay. That is a horrible mistake. Don't make that mistake. And then today, the verb must. I must wake up early. Not I must to. That does not exist, okay? So just accept the fact that we've inherited that grammar, and that's why none of the previous rules apply to those verbs, okay? So that's just a little introduction there to what modal verbs are about. And finally, I would like to review the grammar point of the day with you, the prepositions of place, in, at, on. So on my screen, we're going to have a few examples that are going to appear just here, and these sentences are going to contain a gap. I would like you to take a minute, read it, and then fill in that sentence using in, at, or on. Okay, what is the answer here? I am at the bus stop. Sentence number 2, the dog is in the garden. Number 3, my brother is at the office. Number 4, they are at the park. Number 5, I am on the bus. The shops are on Oxford Street. See you at home. The kids are at school. The students are at university. They are on a plane. They are in Soho. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.